Hi, guys. We're here today to chat with the first US-based representatives of the mother of all martial arts, Kalaripayattu. They have been immersed in its teachings since childhood and now look to promote this art to all corners of the globe. Based in California, USA, gurus Natyaveda and Sindhoor head the Sindhoor and Natyaveda Kalari Center to share authentic Indian culture through dance and martial arts. Please welcome gurus Anil Natyaveda and Aparna Sindhoor. How are you doing today, guys?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
I'm doing quite all right. I thank you very much for being here with me. I know there's such a time difference, so I do appreciate your presence here with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead without further ado and get straight into the interview. First question: what is Kalari, and how did you guys start in the martial arts?
So Kalari means studio, Paitu means attack or defense. Basically, I started this from my childhood around 7-8 years old. So I started actually southern part of Kalari, it's called South Kalari or so that was more defensive system and like a fighting system with hand. And then I start learning later on my college time, like when I'm 15, 16, I start learning northern part of Kerala style of Kalari. So basically that is my route. That was I started 82 or 83, 1983. Then 96 onwards I started northern part of Kalaripayattu training.
So Kalari actually is from South India. Kalari is an Indian martial art, as you already know. It's called the mother of all martial arts. And Kalari training, when we say South and North Kalari, it's not South and North India. It's South part of Kerala and North part of Kerala, which is both are in South India. So Kerala is a state in southern state in India, one of the southern states. So Kalaripayattu originates from there. And I came into Kalari much later as an adult. I'm primarily a dancer and yoga practitioner. I trained in Indian classical dance for many, many years. And so I came into Kalari when I met Anil in a movie shooting actually. I had seen Kalaripayattu before on stage, somebody performing. But I always wanted to train, but I didn't pay much attention to it or didn't go seek it too intensely. But then once I got into it, I fell in love with the martial art form. It's beautiful, it's powerful, and it's very energizing. It's good for everyone, and especially for dancers it's wonderful because of the yoga and the martial art mix in it.
Okay, so that transition as a dancer going into the martial art of karate, that was not too hard for you, was it?
No, I mean, it wasn't hard it was hard. Some parts of it is hard. It's still hard. Like the physicality of it is slightly different, but being disciplined about learning a form or practicing, those things are not hard because that's what we do every day. So, so that part was easy, but actually learning a new form was, it's beautiful, but it's also tough. So it gives you a good challenge. Yeah.
Okay.
Anil is a
All
great.
right. Guru Anil, question: were you into dance before hooking up with Guru Sindhoor?
Yes, I started. I told you I started childhood this martial arts form. Then, meantime, my father put me in another dance school. So I'm studying both parts of it. Then later on, when become a professional practitioner, so I start to meeting Aparna later on. So that actually dance and martial arts similarly is come to me, I think.
That's true. That's true. Not to just to draw some comparison here for everybody who studies Chinese martial arts. Everybody needs to remember Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was a cha-cha champion, right? When he was back in Hong Kong before coming to the United States and becoming a movie star. So yeah, I definitely understand that. Definitely do. Dance can have a great significance, great similarities, right, with the martial arts itself, because it's all human movement, Really. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I do have to, speaking of human movement and going off of what Guru Sindhoor just said about Kerala being a state, and there's the division between northern and southern styles of Kalari, right? Well, with Chinese martial arts, there is the breakup of northern and southern styles, right? So we have northern style being characterized as northern kicks because they specialize more in kicks, right? And then they say southern fists, right? Because it's more like, as you say, right, hand fighting. Southern Chinese martial arts are predominantly more hands than anything else. So I do have to ask this: what are some differences, right, between the styles that you do practice and teach, which will be the northern and southern Kerala styles?
Yeah, basically, northern Kerala style is more, I told you, more lifting legs, kicking and diving, jumping, lot of flexible sword. It's called urmi, and sword, shield, and long stick, short stick, knife. So all kind of weapon they use in northern style. And southern style is more like a hand fight. The similarity is both the martial technique use the same weapon, like urmi is the flexible sword, and spear is like a kundam, in we say that language. So both the parties, both the style will use exactly same weapon in a slightly different way. So then another one big thing is northern style is called one technique is called Mei Pai Tu. Mei means body, Pai Tu means technique, defense or attack technique is a Mei Pai technique. So we have a 12 Mei Pai system, like one Mei Pai tool long more than 2 minutes, some Mei Pai tool go 2 to 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, like that. So Mei Pai means you do with the acrobats exercise with the animals move, say all elephant force, wild boar, kind of a lot of animals moves, birds moves, everything we incorporate with the maypite. So that is northern part of the style, but southern part of style you don't see much that kind of techniques, but they do the hand fight. Hand fight, they have a lot of variation of hand fight. Yekapada means one legs move with a different technique, and two legs move to block or defense or attack. Then we have a Chadrapada, is like a four people are around you. How do you block them? Then Trikonapada, three people technique. It's kind of you can see some similarity with the weapon, but not with so much physical activities.
Okay, so do the southern Kerala styles, like you said, the northern ones have animal styles. Do the southern styles also have animal styles?
Yes, a couple of them. There are a couple of movements they have. Yeah, yeah.
And do they coexist? Like when I mean coexist, sorry, bad word, but do they have this, like, say, the same styles? Like northern would have a dragon style, for example. Like you have a northern dragon style and a southern dragon style. Northern praying mantis style and a southern praying mantis style, like they do in Chinese martial arts. Do you have the same thing?
Yeah, we have some small name differences. Like example is northern part of the attack is called crane attack. You stand up and deliver attack towards under the chin. It's like a kicking up. So that is called crane, like a crane bird. So that same technique they use, that they call Kori. What is that English word? Hen. They call hen movements. So crane and hen. So but movements are same.
All right, all right. Reason why I do ask is because, like, for example, right, you have like for example, a big difference between like say northern praying mantis and southern praying mantis. Northern praying mantis really does emulate the praying mantis. It looks like a praying mantis, and they have their hands like this, and they're doing all this, right? But southern praying mantis doesn't look like that. Southern praying mantis is like it has strikes and very subtle defenses and so on like that at the same time. But if you're not privy to that kind of information, it looks like they're doing all sorts of shakes. So it's more, I would say, physically codified more than anything else, right? So is that the kind of difference as well that's going on between the northern and southern Kerala styles?
Correct. So the crane poses like what I said, northern part, they use more legs to attack under the chin, For a southern part of the Kalari, more with the elbow or the palm, using the palm to attack under the chin. So that's a little bit difference you can see, but the way of using the technique, the energy you create, that's similarity you can see when you study both of them.
And also,
Okay.
I think there is one other thing is with the southern style, it's more like what you see in the street fight or, where people actually gather and have fights, like MMA kind of experience, if you see in India, would be with the southern style. That is more for like actual fighting. The northern Kerala style is more codified and better for training, like you go from point A to point B to point C, like it's very codified, so you can learn it, like the structures are very easy to learn.
Also flexibility,
Yeah, so
strengthening,
you train
balancing.
one aspect of after the other, flexibility, then balance, and the rigor of like doing my Paitu, which is like a series of these exercises together to grow your lungs and be able to breathe in difficult situations. Whereas the southern style, you get into the arena and fight, as you learn. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. So the northern part of the Kalari have a massage system. I just earlier we explained. So massage, we use our foot to massage. You hold the rope on the, then you use your foot legs to massage. Then southern part they use more hand to massage. The treatment they do with the more hand. In northern part they use more with their feet. That one difference you can see a lot.
Awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Now, to go back to what Guru Sindhoor had said about the Southern Kerala styles. So, if one wants to fight, one would more go straight into a Southern Kerala style, right? To get into fighting more than say the Northern.
Yeah, I would think, right?
Yeah, there's like a local fight. If somebody doesn't know how to fight on the street, somebody fighting, so they normally they slap and it's not lot of punching like a Western style of punching. We have very little, but we have block and slap, lot of block and slap and cut. So that's a normally people in the street fight. They slap.
No, but do they go to southern style to do the fight or do the northern style?
Normally the southern part, but in northern part also, in the end of your training, almost like a 20 years of practicing, they will teach you the hands techniques. So we have northern part also have hand techniques that they only teach last, because it's all northern part of the Kalari they developed for military training like old time. So arrow, spears, sword. That's like a military training. So the kingdom need a soldiers. So they trained for them. That time is less hand fight. Basically, is all weapon. What time they used. So basically, they trained in northern part is trained more with weapon, stylized weapon training. But not southern part of the color is more with a street local fight, with a hand fight. Yeah.
Okay, so and you said that's the Northern Kerala style is more militaristic.
Correct.
More comes from military. That again is another mirror image to Chinese martial arts, because the Northern martial arts, that's the military, right? That's more influenced through the military arts, right? Whereas the Southern arts now, these are coming more from the rural guys, more like the farmers. That's why the weapons also kind of reflect the social class that they're from. Southern Chinese martial arts weapons are stuff like the long stick, right? They're more like farm weapons, right? Weapons that you'd use every day to to do your work, right? Whereas the Northern Chinese martial arts weapons are all spears. They're all long sticks with long blades on them. We call them daido, big blade. So I can see the mirror between in that aspect between the Indian and the Chinese martial arts. That is absolutely awesome. That you guys are really opening up my eyes to the Indian martial arts, and I do thank you so much. And you know what? What's happening here is exactly what you guys have set out to do, to open everybody's eyes to the Indian culture through the dance and martial arts. That's absolutely awesome. So with this second question, right? I have off the cuff questions. So the first off the cuff question, gurus, right? How can someone benefit from practicing Kalari?
I mean, I So I would think, like I was saying to you earlier, that this martial art is it has a holistic approach, so it is beneficial for everybody at any age group, right? I mean, of course, not like a toddler cannot learn this that quickly, but we can start as early as 5 years old, and you can practice this till you die, so it has that range, because it's not only about like how flexible you are and lift the leg high and kick very high and punch somebody on the face. It also it teaches you how to breathe, how to contain the breath within the body. So for as a dancer, I can speak to that aspect where the breath is such a big thing for dancing, right? You need to really engage with the breath in a very clever manner. It's not just enough to breathe in, breathe out, but because you're doing very aerobic kind of movements when you dance, and then you need to know how to navigate your breath within that time frame, within the rhythm and all that. With Kalari, because it's so rigorous, some parts of it you really train that. And also there are a lot of breathing exercises within yoga, how we have pranayama, just the breathing exercises and techniques. Similarly, in Kalari, there are like breathing techniques that one could learn and benefit for a long period of time. And of course, if you want to be a martial arts full out, then it has everything. You don't have to if you get injured, there is treatment. If you want to take it slow, there are slow movements. You want to do fast and fight in MMA, there is space for that as well. So it has like this whole scope of things which has been developing and developed for so many centuries. So it is, I think we can take what we can. It's like an ocean. We can take a drop, or we can take a bucket, or whatever we want.
Also, I just want to add two more things. Basically, when you train this martial arts, every 1 hour class, it's like you are doing sports therapy yourself, because all animals' movements is all based on your lower abdomen and central nervous system and the whole spine. So your spine, basically you work with your spine nervous system, and you control with your brain and the lower abdomen. So every poses, every animal poses have that breathing technique and removing that whole action. So it's basically you are training yourself like a sports therapy. Like you don't have any issue with your body after learning couple of years if you train properly. That's another big benefit from this martial arts. Another second one I want to add is, so this form, any martial arts, any sports person, any normal person can train, because it's like a, how do you say that, it's like a yoga training. It's like a benefit for any practitioner. So you never get injured. You train yourself as a sports therapist, and sports therapy involved in your body. So every sequence is like fix your nervous system or bone or muscle, any issue it will remove. That's also, it's like a massaging yourself.
All right, that's awesome. So the complete answer for that would be, how can one benefit from practicing Kalari? And that is total body benefit, right? You get the physical aspect, you get the spiritual aspect, right? So if you're practicing and you get injured, then you have the herbs, you have the techniques, massage techniques you're telling us as well, to help you recover. That is absolutely awesome. Another parallel to the Chinese martial arts. Whenever we get injured, Chinese martial artists watching will definitely understand when I say this. It's called didaja. Didaja, it's like a break. I think it translates to break and fall lotion, right? So it's like one of those lotions, like when you get punched or you hit yourself really hard, right? And you're aching, and it's going to probably cause a big knot. You go ahead, you take this and you massage it into the knot, and it helps to dissipate that knot, make it feel a little bit better. So I definitely see that mirror image again, and that is absolutely awesome. I'm so definitely interested, even more so as I speak more with you as the conversation goes on. So speaking of going on, let's continue with our next question, gurus. In your opinions, what is the hardest part of developing one's Kalari to a high level?
Hardest part is like building the flexibility. That's the beginning part of the strength. You need to build the balancing, then strengthening, and then your mind able to respect everything. You train yourself Like you need to respect your juniors, your seniors, your teacher, the public, everything. So you have to reset your mind. That's the hardest part. You need to start to respecting. You cannot go fight on the street. Oh, I know now martial arts. I cannot go and fight. If somebody trying to attack you, the first lesson is you run. You don't fight back. Maximum. If in case they are in your face, they're trying to kill you or trying to injure your partner or your family, then you stand for it. So that's the last things they will tell you. It train your mind as a human being. So we always have that anger. Trying to control the anger is the first thing. That's the hardest one. Even somebody is trying to touch your nose with very anger, you have to have a calm down your mind, it to balance that anger into yourself to make it very smooth. So that's a hard part for me when I found out, holding your brain, it to calm down. What is it?
Okay.
Have a different feeling. So I just want to ask you, Aparna, what?
I mean, for me, I think I find like the sparring and the punch, actually working with somebody and hitting someone, that is very hard for me because of who I am. It's nothing to do with the form itself. I mean, it's physically, it's not very hard to do the punches and all that compared to so many other things we do. But for me, the sparring aspect of Kalari is I find it hard because I cannot bring myself to hit someone or get hit by someone, even for fun.
So the physical conditioning is what you find a little bit harder.
No, physical conditioning part I like. That's
Oh,
I
okay.
Like a
the actual
sparring.
fighting of
Yes,
it.
Actual fighting part.
Yeah,
Okay,
sparring,
okay.
partnering, sparring partner. So yeah, some people cannot take it. So this is
Yeah.
also part of mind, what I just said.
Yeah.
So train your mind. Yeah.
True, yeah.
Okay, okay. It's very true. It's very true because one thing that most people don't think of in the martial arts is the fighting part, right? Even though the martial part, the word martial is actually the fighting, the physical part in that whole name martial arts, right? So most people, since they don't think of that, to actually get to the fighting, yeah, I understand. I understand. It's a very true thing. So the actual fighting is harder for you. And what you had said, Guru Natyaveda, is absolutely correct, spot on as well. The mental aspect, changing your mind from the way how it is now to the way how it needs to be. I understand that. I understand that. That's absolutely awesome. And to go off of your answer, as you answered that, it also made me. It actually reminded me that I didn't ask another part of a question, which I will ask you right now. Is Kalari practical for fighting?
Yes, it is. But we have a sparring section in India now. They're developing as a sports. So Indian government is looking at seriously now. So the Kalari sparring, they're trying to bring it out. So we joined Kerala Sports Authority last year. So they have this fighting competition. So we just participating that right now. So yes, of course, it's a fighting system. So one is called old style, one is called new style. That's the northern part of the martial art techniques, is all about old time, how they do the sparring in the street with the weapons. Right now, the sparring is more with the hand. Is locally you don't wear the weapon, you fight. So, but in Kalari nowadays, what we trained, we do the sparring with the weapon, like a sword, shield and sword. Some people use the urmi, it's like a flexible sword. So that is also sparring. So then that is not for a fighting on the street. That is just for a sports sparring. But if you want to fight, it's a sparring like a local MMA fight in here. So then you need a hand fight. So that part is we have much better development in southern part of Kalari. So yeah, there we are training our schools students as a sparring. We focus on more because it's a locally. You have to be it's not only learning form. You have to know how to use the form. So that means you need to be fighter. So that we are doing now. Our all students able to fight. Last 4 5 years we are doing sparring every year twice. A sparring session in Los Angeles, and now we have started one branch in San Jose area. So there also one sparring section we are developing.
That is absolutely awesome as well, because just like in Chinese martial arts, right? We have our forms. Chinese martial arts are known for their nice, pretty looking forms, right? But then it's like, okay, how do you translate that to fighting, right? So most Chinese martial arts schools have to teach both, right? There's martial arts moves in the forms, but so how to take out those moves to actually use them
Yeah.
physically, right? In a physical altercation, I should say. Now, to continue into this next question, if you could teach the new generation of martial artists only one thing, whether it be philosophy or a technique, what would it be?
I think both technique and philosophy is very important. Also, I always telling that how to be calm with the emotional. It's like you control your emotional. So every part of your emotion you need to control. So part of philosophy and training and what is that called exact word for to calm and what is that English word? You can answer that.
I don't know what it's. I mean, I would think, the aspect of the mind body connection.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, basically, so both involved. You are saying philosophy and training. Then is the mind. Now new generation. That new generation always in the phone. They are not able to focus. They cannot listen to for a long conversation. So these are the things we trying to make it them to bring them to attention. So our every class is like we start with a meditation, then warm up, then we'll do the all kind of legs lifting, jumping, diving, kicking, bowling. Then we'll go to the sparring, then end with weapon practice, then we'll go back to the meditation again. Then when we are doing meditation, the teachers will talk about the philosophy, what one have to do, to continue the form, so that are the philosophy will slowly bring it to them in end of the class. That's our
Okay.
routine for our classes.
Is there any one specific philosophy that, if you're just say this is the only one that I could teach right now, is which one would it be? Any one specific one?
I would think, personally, I feel that one thing that one could take from any training, but specifically from Kalari, is the discipline. So if you learn the discipline, how to be disciplined, I mean, not in a forceful manner, but with love and with compassion. If you come into this and you learn that discipline, I think that knowledge can be transformed into anything the kids are learning today, whether it's math or art or engineering, whatever they're doing, that discipline can carry over from what they learn here.
Okay. So how about physical technique? Is there any one specific physical technique that you would teach? If there's
Yes,
only one thing you could teach?
number one is the horse pose.
A horse pose.
Pose. Horse pose is more like, in yoga we have the warrior pose. It's more like that in Kalari. It has like very nice movements of the spine, and the core gets activated right away. And it's a very tough pose, although it's one of the beginning poses. It's one of the hardest ones, and you move in it. Like there is, even though we say pose, it's not static. It's continuation and it's in movement. So if people can do that in a proper way, that's it. You don't need to do anything else. That's what I
The
believe.
horse pose.
Horse
All
pose.
right.
A lot of animal poses are hard. Even elephant pose,
Yeah.
that's called
Now he's saying if you do
One.
teach one, what would
Yes,
you say?
horse pose. Yes, that's like I'm just earlier I said about physical training yourself. It's a central nervous system and the spine. Every movement is like this. Your spine will do this. The central nervous system is very active. So most of the new students always come back and say to me after the class, so I have loose motion. Some people say I have fever. Some people say that I have 4 days body pain. Just doing that horse pose, it will awake your brain. The brain will send all the energy into the central nervous system and spread every part of your body with the horse pose.
Okay. Each animal moves a certain way, and you have a specific benefit from the specific movement of each animal.
Yes.
So I do have to ask, could you name a few of the common animal styles in the southern and northern Kerala styles? Like you mentioned the horse,
Horse
and
pose.
you mentioned
That's called, first pose is called Asho Badivu in our name. Then Gaja Badivu. Gaja Badivu. Gaja means elephant. Badivu means pose. Again, the pose is not stay sustain one place, is keep moving. Elephant.
Okay.
Then we have a Varaga Badivu. It's like a wild boar. So that is like a lot of blocking using the elbow, turn elbow, everything is from the wild boar attack defensive. That action is there. Then Marjara Badivu is called cat pose. So how cat attack, jumping and kicking and diving, going down to the floor and lifting from there, throwing to the mud, or that whole technique you learn from that Marjara Badivu or cat pose. So yeah, so like that, yeah.
So would you like, instead of say pose, could you say style? Like you have a cat style or
Correct,
a wild boar style and an elephant style, right?
correct.
All right, that's cool. So that's horse style, elephant style, wild boar style, and cat style, you had said. All right, that's absolutely cool. So let's go ahead and continue. I got one more question. How can you be contacted, gurus?
So we have a website, we have two websites. One is mykalari.org, that is mykalari.org. And we also have our dance theater company / Kalari school website, which is navarasa.org. That's navarasa.org. And we teach in California and also online, and we travel all over the world. So you can reach us via email, phone, and all that. You can, of course, post those information as well.
All right. Information for gurus, Natyaveda, and Sindhoor will be in the description down below. Also in the description below will be a link for Feiyue shoes. If you need Feiyue shoes, go ahead and click the link down below. Get the best prices, get the best deals, all at Feiyue shoes. Join Gurus Sindhoor and Natyaveda this coming Sunday, September 10th for a Navarasa production of a story and a song. Get your tickets by clicking the link down in the description below. Gurus Natyaveda and Sindhoor, thank you so much for your time speaking with me and educating me and my viewership on Kalaripayattu. It's been real. It's been a whole head opener. And honestly, I'm going to go and look up some more Kalaripayattu right now as we finish this interview. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marji. Thank you.
Great talking to
All
you.
right. Bye-bye. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. All right.